Hi, welcome to Lara Travels Time. I travel to real moments in history and I show you what it actually felt like. Not the Netflix version, the real one. Birmingham, England, 1895. And today I am spending 24 hours with the real Peaky Blinders, which, spoiler, is not what you think. Okay, wow. I thought Victorian Birmingham would be grim. No one prepared me for this. There are over 500,000 people living here right now. And honestly, I think all of them are on this street. Oh no. Something just hit me. It smells like coal, damp wool, and something I genuinely cannot identify, and I'm choosing not to investigate. Anyway, I've spent the last 20 minutes asking people where I can find some excitement, and apparently I've been pointed in the direction of a local gang, the Peaky Blinders. Okay, I think I've found them. Not Thomas Shelby, not Cillian Murphy, definitely not anyone with cheekbones like that. The actual Peaky Blinders, who, it turns out, are mostly teenagers. Okay, this is Tommy. He's 17 years old, and he's lived on this street his entire life. The first thing he did when I walked over was look me up and down and asked if I was lost.
Tommy has invited me to check out what he actually lives like. So let's go now to see what it's like for him.
Okay.
Here is the first major thing nobody tells you. The real Peaky Blinders are not powerful crime bosses. They're working-class young men from some of the most overcrowded streets in Britain.
Honestly, it's smaller than I expected. There is no dramatic manor house, there is no oak-panelled office, there is barely a table.
And to make matters even worse, let's check out the average working conditions over here.
Most of the young men I've met here, including Tommy, still have regular jobs, which is not something people usually talk about. Tommy works at a metal pressings workshop. 6 days a week, starts at 6 in the morning. And honestly, this feels a lot less glamorous than I expected. It is loud in a way that goes beyond loud. It is physically loud, and this is where Tommy spends most of his waking hours, for wages that amount to about what you'd spend on a coffee in 2026 per day.
Of course, we also have to talk about something else depicted in the Netflix version.
The gambling is real, and this is where a lot of the local influence comes from. Not factories, not fights.
Betting is incredibly popular right now, which means places like this are everywhere. And the people keeping track of it tend to know everyone. It's less about dramatic gang leaders and more about whoever has the notebook.
Now, the caps. I have to address the caps. The famous story everyone knows, the thing that appears in almost every modern depiction, is almost certainly a myth. The evidence is thin. I'm sure that's extremely disappointing. I was disappointed too.
Now, obviously Birmingham was a really dangerous place in the 1800s, and things often got out of control.
Tommy's just spotted something, and I've got absolutely no idea what it is.
He clocked something happening 2 streets over before I've even recognized it.
He's been reading this environment his whole life.
I've been here 4 hours. It's not glamorous, it's exhausting. It's what you do when the system has made very clear it has nothing
To offer to you.
Okay, the pub is not just a pub. It's the community centre, the news service, the job board, and apparently
The therapist. Except the therapist is ale, and the ale is very strong.
Well then, I have been offered a drink by 3 separate people, and I've been here for about 40 seconds. What I'm noticing is that everyone knows everything. Who's working, who's fighting, who owes money, who got arrested. This is the information economy of a neighborhood that has no other infrastructure. Gossip here is basically local government.
the more time I spend in here, the more I understand what the Peaky Blinders actually were to their own community.
They were feared, and they were connected, but they were also neighbors, brothers and cousins of people in this room. And that's the complicated part. Everybody here has to keep living together.
That's the thing about 1895. Everything is accelerated. You work hard and fast. You age hard and fast. You make friends hard and fast. You don't have the luxury of slowly figuring people out. There isn't time.
Peaky Blinders were real. and they were genuinely dangerous. But they were also young men from difficult circumstances, living in one of the hardest industrial environments of the era. They were the product of a system that extracted everything from working people and gave almost nothing back. History remembers them one way. The reality was more complicated.
The real past is full of real people, not archetypes, not symbols, not cautionary tales. That's what Laura Travels Time is. I'll see you in the next one.